How can the Education for Enterprise movement be adapted and focused to raise enterprise thinking, enterprise culture, and achievement in less privileged Pacific communities? According to socio-economic indicators, there are several marginal communities through New Zealand and the Pacific that could benefit substantially from improving their economic fortunes. One such community in New Zealand is South Auckland, a community in which Pacific peoples form a relatively high proportion of the population. One opportunity to improve long-term socio-economic fortunes may lie with the children, who are often the first to learn the language of their parents' adopted country and develop a cultural identity through their schooling. In this presentation, Malama Saifoloi, Nick Kearns and Peter Mellalieu suggest that Education for Enterprise could be included as a component of middle school education with a focus on raising entrepreneurial awareness and activity. The benefits to the wider community may be significant over time.
Hello, Palava colleagues. It's nice to be here. First of all, I'd just like to acknowledge the organisers of the symposium today, Centre of Pacific Director Linda Almore and Dr. Falaniko Tumaniko, and also the collaborators, Unitec Research Centre, Associate Professor Marcus Williams and Brenda, for allowing this opportunity to be at a forum like this where as Pacific peoples we can come together and put the spotlight on key topics that are of interest to us and should be of interest to the wider community. My role also today is to introduce our topic. We're exploring the idea of education for enterprise in Pacific communities of South Auckland. Hopefully over the next few minutes and during the course of our slides, you'll get a deeper insight in terms of what we're thinking in this space and to gauge also some feedback from the audience in terms of where we can go from today. My other role is to introduce our lead researcher, who is the Associate Professor Peter Mellalieu, a dear colleague and friend. He is the heavyweight in our department in innovation and entrepreneurship. Peter's accomplishments include visiting professor to several universities, in particular his visit to the University of Botswana and also to the University of Florida, where he has led some building capacity programs in terms of entrepreneurship. Peter has also had a leadership role in the NZQA accreditation of our department's Masters of Business and Innovation and Entrepreneurship program, which we introduced a few years ago, and we are looking at reintroducing as a program. So over the next few slides, Peter will take us through our research question and also provide some details in terms of our journey from here on.
So the key question that's guiding our journey, that inspired our journey is how can this Education for Enterprise movement, and Nick will explain what this Education for Enterprise, E4E movement is about. How can that movement be adapted, focused to raise enterprise thinking, enterprise culture and achievement in less privileged Pacific communities? And we set a grand question, not just that of South Auckland, the Pacific, but also the Pacific generally. So that's our overall guiding question. So the journey we're going to take you through is first Malama is going to explain to you the need for why this needs to be done, and also the opportunities that we see to begin our contribution to that journey. I'll talk about our discoveries so far. We've already been engaged with some local schools through the E4E movement, and we want to talk about some of the insights that we have learned from that. And then Nick will start to provide some academic support for the approaches that we are choosing to take for this journey, talking about the Young Enterprise Scheme, the Young Enterprise Trust, self-efficacy, various things like that. We're moving to what next. So we're still composing our map, as it were, or our itinerary for the journey. So we'll start to expose where we propose to go next, and this is where we move on to getting your feedback about what you think is correct about what we're doing, where you think we're making a complete cock-up and mess of things, what improvements you think we could make for our approach, what you think was interesting about what we're doing, and so on. So that's a sanity check, so that's what you'll be there for. At the very end, I'll re-show you this QR code and the URL there, Pacific 4E, and that's where you'll find these slides, and you'll find this will link you to our continuing update of the presentation and the journey, tinyurl.com Pacific 4E.